Question number 36. So benzaldehyde reacts with formaldehyde in concentrated NaOH as. So students, it is a cross kinase arrow reaction, and we know that formaldehyde is very easily oxidized. So students, if we talk about the product, it is going to form the formate ion. The hydride will be donated from the formaldehyde and it will be transferred to the benzaldehyde, converting the benzaldehyde into benzyl alcohol along with the formation of the formate ions. Okay. So students, if you look at the options which are given to us, the major product is obtained by intramolecular reaction. This is not correct, students. There is intermolecular kinase arrow happening or the cross kinase arrow happening. If we talk about the second option now, benzaldehyde is oxidized in this reaction. This is not correct, students. Benzaldehyde is reduced. Benzaldehyde is converted into benzyl alcohol. It is formaldehyde which is oxidized. So the reaction is kinetically controlled, students, and formaldehyde is generally the one which is getting oxidized, as the attack of OH minus is very easy on the carbonyl carbon of formaldehyde. Okay. So the third statement is correct, students. If we talk about the fourth statement now, hydride shifts from the benzaldehyde to the formaldehyde. This is incorrect, students. It is the other way around. The hydride transfer is from formaldehyde to benzaldehyde. So the statement given in option 4 is also incorrect. Okay. So for this question, we have to select the correct answer as option 3. Okay. Let us look at the next question now. Question number 37. Aniline react with NaNO2 HCl and form a diazonium salt which shows different reaction as. Okay. So this is the benzene diazonium salt, students. When it is allowed to react with water, it forms phenol. So students, the compound Q is phenol. And if we talk about the second reaction which is allowed to react with H3PO2, so on reaction with H3PO2, the benzene diazonium chloride, it forms normal benzene. Okay. So R is benzene whereas Q is phenol. And if you look at the options which are given to us, students, we can clearly see that for this question, we have to mark the correct answer as option 3. Okay. Let us look at the next question now. Question number 38. N-hexane react with Cr2O3 at 773 Kelvin and at high pressure to form a compound P. So if we talk about the compound P, students, it has to be benzene. So N-hexane, it reacts with Cr2O3 in presence of high pressure and high temperature to form benzene, which is the compound P labeled in the question. Okay. The compound P on heating with succinic anhydride in presence of AlCl3 form product Q which is separated. So benzene, when it is allowed to react with succinic anhydride. So students, if we try and draw the structure of succinic anhydride, it has this structure in presence of AlCl3. So students, this will lead to Friedel-Crafts acylation, and the compound Q which will be formed is going to be this. Okay. Now it is further mentioned to us that this compound Q is separated, and in another separate experiment Q forms T. So this has to form the compound T which is given to us in this question. So if we try and figure out, students, what is happening from Q to T, so we can clearly see that on conversion from Q to T, so there is loss of this carbonyl group. So we have to use a selective reagent which selectively reduces the carbonyl group. Okay. So if you look at the first option now, students, so in the first option we have reduction with ZnHgHCl. So this is going to work, students. The zinc mercury amalgam in presence of HCl, it will react with this given compound to reduce this carbonyl group into CH2, and when it is followed by heating with concentrated H3PO4. So the concentrated H3PO4 is going to cause dehydration from this carboxylic acid, and it is going to generate another acyl carbocation which can then further add to the ring. Okay. So when it is first allowed to react with zinc mercury amalgam in presence of HCl, it forms this structure, students, and when it is allowed to react with H3PO4 in the presence of heat, so there will be a generation of this acyl carbocation over here. This H2O will leave and the acyl carbocation will be formed over here, which will then attach to the ring. So students, we are going to have the formation of the given compound T from the first option itself. So students, for question number 38, we have to mark the correct answer as option 1. Question number 39, it says, consider the 3 isomeric amines with formula C4H11N. Okay. So amine A has a boiling point of 350.8 Kelvin. Amine B has a boiling point of 329.3 Kelvin. Whereas amine C has a boiling point of 310.5 Kelvin. Okay. So it is further mentioned to us that A is prepared by the Hofmann-Bromamide reaction. So students, A has to be a primary amine. As only primary amines can be prepared by the Hofmann-Bromamide reaction. If we talk about the compound C now, it is given to us that C does not react with Hinsberg reagent. So if C does not react with Hinsberg reagent, it means that C has to be a tertiary amine. And if we talk about B now, B reacts with HNO2 to gives us a yellow oily product. So students, B has to be a secondary amine. Okay. So the primary, secondary and tertiary thing was evident to us from the boiling points also. As the degree of the amine increases, there is a decrease in the hydrogen bonding. So as degree of amines increases, there is a decrease in the hydrogen bonding. Okay. So due to which the tertiary amines have lower boiling points as compared to primary or secondary amine. Okay. So we have to select the correct statement about these compounds A, B and C now, students. Option 1, it says A, B and C are chain isomers. This is not correct, students. These are primary, secondary and tertiary amines. These are functional isomers in nature. Okay. If we talk about the second option now, in benzene, the basic strength of C is highest among A, B and C. So this is correct, students. In benzene, there is no solvation of amines and the basic strength of the tertiary amine will be the greatest because of the inductive effect. Okay. If we talk about the third option now, solubility of C is highest among A, B and C in water. This is not correct, students. Tertiary amines will not be able to get properly solvated. So they will be very less soluble as compared to the primary and the secondary amines. Okay, and if we talk about the fourth option now, A is the strongest base among A, B and C in water. This is not correct, students. Generally, it is the secondary amine which has the greater basic strength in water. Okay. So students, out of these given statements, only the second statement is correct and we have to mark the correct answer to question number 39 as option 2. Question number 40. Diazonium salts are treated with set of reagent separately to give products. So we've been given 6 different reagents and the examiner seems to be interested in which reaction of diazonium salt is not grouped under the Sandmeyer reaction. So if we talk about the Sandmeyer reaction, students, the reactions given in option 1, option 2 and option 3, they are clubbed under the Sandmeyer reaction, whereas 4, 5 and 6 are not. So students, for this question we have to select those reactions or those set of reagents which are not included under the Sandmeyer reaction. So students, we have to mark the correct answer to this question as option 3.